Hey guys, happy day! This is Super Dave with Best Life. Hope you're having a great day. Today it is the 28th of April. You know, it's funny because sometimes people go, how can you check your phone? Because I've been having so many good days that I kind of lose track of them. Isn't that a nice thing? It's like every day is so good and such a beautiful journey and adventure, and it's like, oh yeah, if every day feels so darn tootling good, yeah, it's like, was today Wednesday? Was today Tuesday? Was today Thursday? What's the date today? Yeah, you can just feel and flow forward. So, welcome, guys, to Super Days with Super Dave. I am your host, Super Dave, with Best Life Creation Society, and I love what we're talking about today because today's topic is there's only flow. And this was wonderfully inspired by our beautiful Jenny, Jenny Zamari's comment that she had on one of our classes the other day, which was, "There's no such thing as unflow." There's only flow. There's only flow, and we're gonna expand on this today because there is only flow, but there's some beautiful caveats that I think are gonna really point out some beautiful clarity. So, hi Scott, hi Espen, hi Jen, hi Jenny, hi you guys. Welcome to Super Dave with Super Dave. So let's just flow right into it, shall we? Um, there's only flow. There's only flow. I'm going to say it again. There's only flow. Now, the caveat that ties in with that is that we're either going with the flow or we're resisting the flow. Um, even case in point, this is a different way that we've been doing Facebook Lives. Typically, I have wonderful Jenny here doing the translations in Albanians for all of you beautiful ones out there in Albania, in Macedonia, and Tirana, and all these different places out there. Um, but that's okay. We just flow. And so it's about really going with the flow, or are we resisting the flow? And how do we know? How do we know if we're going with the flow or if we're resisting the flow? Well, I'll say it like this. When the things came into my experience, I didn't resist these things. When these new ways of going about recording Facebook Live came about, or rather, Super Dave was Super Dave, I didn't resist it. I didn't get upset. So how do we know if we're going with the flow, resisting the flow? How we feel. Oh yes, it's always all about how we feel. And maybe you get sick and tired of hearing that. Really? Again, it's about our feelings. Yep, it is. But here's the best part. Um, I will never get sick of saying that and stating that it's about our feelings. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Because and Abraham really expressed this beautifully on the most recent Abraham Now, which is, or sorry, it wasn't the most recent, it was one of the most recent ones, but they said these laws of the universe are unerring, stable, absolute, and always this way. So yeah, guys, law of attraction states that that which you put your focus on, intention on, you're gonna get. See, there's ways to say it which tend to confuse people, which is that which is like unto itself is drawn. But if you don't know what that means, you're like, whatever. What are you talking about? But if you can go, that which you put your attention and focus on, you get, whether you consciously want it or not. Now you start to open this up and go, so whatever I put my attention and focus on, and keep it there, and allow that focus to build, I get. Yes, that which is like unto itself is drawn. Here's the other beautiful thing with the law of attraction. It's unbiased. What that means is that if you like it, it's coming in. If you don't like it, it's coming in. If you enjoy it and you keep your focus there, it's coming in. If you're stressed and annoyed and you continue to put your focus there, it's coming in. It is, because it's the law of attraction. It's wonderfully unerring, stable, secure, forward focused, present, unbiased, and beautifully, beautifully, unapologetically, always the way it is. Whatever you're vibrating, you're attracting that into your experience. And it's absolute, which means that it's certain, which means that isn't it so awesome to know, guys, that source and our inner being isn't going to be like, well, I know you've been feeling really good and things are going great and you're really attracting all these things in your life that you really want, but now we're gonna change it. We got bored. No, it doesn't do that, right? It doesn't do that. It doesn't say, oh, okay, well, you're feeling great and you were feeling great and, but why don't you just go ahead and get really angry and then we'll give you what you want? No. Isn't it so awesome to know that if you're feeling bad, you're going to attract things that don't feel good? In essence, bad. But if you're feeling good and you're enjoying that and you're in that space of continuous focus on that, you're going to delight in that as well. So I see a lot of beautiful people are here. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Elliot. Let's see, who else is here? Jenny, of course. Um, let's see here. What else we got? Hi, Jacqueline. So looking forward, and yes, only flows. What Jenny's saying. Yeah, it's so beautiful, right? It's just so easy to just go with the flow. It really is. It's really easy, really easy to go with the flow. Oh, happy beautiful day, Espen. Loved your live, by the way. Amazing best life now with Jen. I highly recommend if you guys haven't checked those out yet on our page. Really amazing stuff. This last one was especially amazing. So, and everything that we do in Best Life is amazing. Not because I say it, but check it out. Feel it for yourself. So let's see here. What else we got going on here? Espen, yeah. Let's see here. What else? Oh yes, love to calibrate to my inner being's perspective. Ooh yes, very true, Jenny. Yeah, I mean, that's the key. It's about understanding, guys, and knowing that our inner being does have a perspective. It absolutely does have a perspective. It does have a point of view, but that point of view is stable. That point of view is satisfaction. That point of view is unconditional love. That point of view is seeing what you are witnessing. If there is contrast, if there is a different vibration than what you've previously been emanating, and only seeing it in the space of solution, only seeing it in the space of your answer, only seeing it in the space of fun and joy and satisfaction and and isn't it so nice, guys, to know that it only sees it in that point of view. So even if you're experiencing contrast, I don't like this. Source inner being is going, yes, we have what you desire, come this way. Even if you're in a disagreement with things or situations or things around you, or maybe you are finding situations where life feels unfair, Source is right there with you going, yes, we have what you want, which is this fairness that you desire. Come this way. Even if you're noticing things regarding your own finances that you're not liking and you keep taking score of what you don't like, guess what? The only score that Source is taking is of your own well-being. So even if you're looking at that going, this is not what I like to see, Source is going, yes, we know that's not what you like to see. We have what you desire. We have the abundance, the prosperity, the wealth, the joy that you've been desiring. Come this way, come this way, come this way. And again, it probably feels like, geez, Dave, I feel like you say this every single Facebook Live. You're right, I do. But I never get tired of sharing this because this is really the essence of the laws of the universe, you guys. This is really you being able to tap in, tune in, and turn on to the unlimitedness and the extension of that source energy that you guys are. And so for those that are listening to this, which I know you guys get this, but maybe anybody new that's being exposed to this, welcome, hi, hello. It's for you too. This is not isolated to pragmatic ideas. This is not just so isolated to the idea of like, well, if I do the right things long enough consistently, then I'll get the desires of my heart. No. And it's also not isolated to the idea of like, well, if I get rid of enough gunk, then I can focus on what I want. No. Or if I get rid of stuff that's in my subconscious, then I can really flow forward. No. No. All that does is create resistance of your flow. You heard that right. That creates resistance of your flow. But here's what's beautiful. It's resistance that you're creating, but it doesn't mean that the flow is now no flow. It doesn't mean that the flow has resistance. It means you are holding resistance regarding your flow. Can you guys feel the distinction? Very big difference, right? I'm going to read a couple comments here. Let's see here. Inner being knows the way. Yeah, exactly. Inner being knows the way, knows the path. You know, it is our GPS system. I heard Espen beautifully having some wonderful awarenesses like, yeah, our GPS system isn't going, turn around, you big dingus. It's going, recalculating, right? It doesn't even say you went the wrong way. Yeah. Did you guys feel that? It doesn't even say you went the wrong way. Because to your GPS system, aka your inner being, there's no such thing as wrong. There's not. There's only, oh, a different path. Oh, recalculating. Oh, not going that way, come this way. We have what you desire, come this way. Your quote unquote destination is this way, come this way. Aren't you glad our GPS doesn't yell at us? That'd be a rough ride. I'm sure the GPS market wouldn't do very well as far as sales. But they do, because it's this understanding that, and I know I'm getting a little bit silly with the whole idea of a GPS system, but it's our own inner guidance positioning system. Oh, yes. But the guidance is through our emotions. The guidance is through our feelings. So whereas the GPS on a car is guided through the satellites, our inner GPS is wonderfully guided by how we feel. And in how we feel in every moment of every day. And noticing as we're continuing to feel flow forward with our own alignment and to feel that when contrast arises, it doesn't mean you've done anything wrong, guys. It doesn't mean that you took a misstep. It doesn't mean that you took a wrong turn. It's merely there because you are here in this physical experience dancing with the variety and spice and diversity that is life. Oh yeah, take that in. You're here joyously, delightfully, co-creating, cohabitating with the variety and the spice that is life. I've always been really playful and a pretty comical guy, but just take that in for a second. Doesn't it feel so good to know that you're here to deliberately create in this beautiful physical experience in a way and a manner that feels good to you? But you're so free that if you don't feel good, you don't have to. Woo! Take that in. If you don't feel good, you're free. You don't have to. But here's what's so cool about it. It's so much more fun to benefit and be in the space where you do feel good. Because there's so much more to delight in. There's so much more to enjoy. I'll give you guys a perfect example here, and then I want to read Jen's quotes because I'm loving everything that you guys are flowing and feeling from this. Last night, I had a chance, and this was so perfect. I had a chance, and I haven't shared this yet, so this is brand new. Didn't share this in any of the classes, so woohoo! But a customer of mine left something in my car, and it was one of his items, and then he called me and said, can you get it back to me tonight? And I said, sure. But as I hung up the phone, I forgot to mention to him, give me your personal phone number, because the way Lyft works, which is so brilliant, is if a customer needs to get in contact with the driver or vice versa, Lyft has a buffer number where basically no one knows whose number's who, so that way there's not potential harassment, stuff like that. Now again, keep in mind, that's human streams of consciousness. No one's going to harass me. I don't have any energy on that, but it's a really good system for those that hold that belief. But what's so perfect was I was like, oh, shoot, I forgot to get this guy's phone number. So I know where he lives, but when I get there, he's not going to know that I'm there. And if I try to call, all it does is revert me back to this number that no longer works, because it only works when I'm in that moment on the clock with my app with Lyft doing it. So I'm like, okay, so at first I found myself being a little bit annoyed, but then I acknowledged my annoyed vibration. I acknowledged my annoyed feelings. I was like, that's not as easy as it could be. That's okay though. That's okay. And then I felt guided and I was like, you know what? I can always email support. So I did. I emailed support and I said, hey, I want to get a hold of this individual, but he's he forgot to give me his phone number, and I forgot to give him my phone number. So I'm here, and I've been waiting in his apartment complex for 10 minutes. Um, but I wanted to get this item back to him because there's another incentive too, which is that when we return a lost item to somebody, we can also claim it and get paid for it. Not from the customer, but from Lyft, the company, directly. Pretty amazing, right? So nothing was going on. There was like a lot of non-communication, and then I decided to be like, I'm putting up resistance on this. I just need to let this go. So I started to drive home, and as I was driving home, I felt very inspired to just do some more rides. And by the end of the night, someone from support had responded back, and they said, and I love it because the very first part of what they said in the very first part of the email was, no worries. We let your customer know, and we gave him your contact number directly, so he should contact you soon. Please also feel that if he doesn't, you can drop it off at one of our centers, or within the next 7 days, you're free to store it, discard it, or do what you will with it. And I was like, But then, even more beautifulness, guys, I wanted to read this to you. This was the conversation that I had with him earlier today, because he texted me. Because, of course, Lyft gave him my personal phone number. But this is so perfect, because this is a real-life example of that there's always flow. There's always flow, and there's only flow. So, and I know my camera's a little bit shaky, so I apologize for that, but take a listen to this. He said, hey Dave, it's so-and-so. I just got the email from Lyft. Thought you blew me off. LOL, right? Like, haha. He says, I'm at work, blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, I wouldn't blow you off at all. All good. What's your apartment building? I'll gladly drop it off this evening. Say after 6 p.m. Does that work? It's still safely in my car. And of course he said, yes, that works. Whatever's good for you is good for me. I said, great, I'll let you know when I've dropped it off and sent you a pic as well too. No problem. But that's the point, guys. These are real life scenarios, real life situations where I could have resisted that flow, or I could have just did what I did, which is go with the flow. And this is also not to point it out to anybody in sort of direct like, well, I'm not doing that. I'm doing it wrong. No, you're not. Because Source is going, we have your flow. Come this way, come this way, come this way. So even if you're like, oh, I wish I could have done that like the way Dave did it, don't wish it the way that I could do it, because that's my way of doing it. But know that when you're feeling and flowing with your alignment, you're going to flow in the direction of what feels good for the way you flow. Yeah. Can you feel that? Just take that in for a second. I don't have to do it like anybody? No. I don't have to do it like the guru? No. I don't have to memorize a bunch of words? No. And I'll emphatically say, no, you don't. Source is not demanding anything of you. I'm not demanding anything of you. Inner being is not demanding anything of you. And let's stand this out. God, is not demanding anything of you. Every one of those energies is gently calling you forward, saying, we have what you desire. Come this way. Unerringly. Stably. Absolutely. Yeah. So, I'm going to read a couple of these comments. Oh, hi, Sheena. Hello, hello. Happy beautiful day. Hello, Rosemary. Hello. Hi, guys. I'm just scrolling back up. Hi, Tracy. So Jen's saying, it's so important to flow in the direction of that which you do desire, not away from that which you don't desire. Oh, yeah, Jen. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's so good, so good, so good, so good. Because initially I was like, well, this is annoying. Gosh, why can't Lyft fix this? And then I was like, am I focusing on what I want or what I don't want? That's focusing on what I don't want. Okay. And as soon as I had that awareness, I was like, this is all good. Source has my solution on this. This is perfect. And boom! That's when I had that inspiration to email Lyft. Because I can email Lyft 24 hours a day. How cool is that? Talk about unwavering support. Very similar to our own inner being. 24-hour support. We'll say it even more than 24-hour support. Unending support. Unlimited support. But we have to be in that space of allowing ourselves to feel good or feel a little bit better than we were feeling, to be in that receiving space of the support, of that wonderfully unending support. of our inner guidance. So, I thought there was another quote here, or another, um, not quote, what am I thinking? What are they called? Comment. So, let's see here. Nope, just thought I'd check real quick. So, feel good because it feels good. Yeah. Yeah, feel good because it feels good. And it feels good to feel good. Doesn't it? If you're going, it does feel good to feel good, but can I feel good? That's just a matter of allowing yourself to continue gently to be comfortable being comfortable, to allow yourself to be comfortable feeling good. See, and I can say this because there was a time when I was so mired, that's a good way to put it, of the idea, mired being like bogged down, stuck in the idea that I need to get out of my comfort zone. That has the appearancy of looking and sounding really good, and it also has the appearancy of creating results very quickly, but those results are not lasting. Those results are not sustainable. Inner being loves you. God loves you. Source loves you. And it's an extension of who we are. It's not separate from us. It's not even outside of us. It's connected to us at all times. And we get to decide whether we're pinching off that flow or going with that flow. So, yeah, Jenny, she's saying freedom. Yeah, for sure. It's all about freedom. So, and I know I've been a little bit direct, but I hope you guys can feel my energy on this. I hope you guys can feel like, in the past I would have said my passion on this, but, and I am very passionate about this, but I don't want to assert any energy on you guys, and I don't want you to ever feel, either from myself or from anyone, that there is an assertion energy from Best Life, because if anything, it's about you feeling and flowing with what feels good to you. And also being really honest and honoring what it is that feels good to you. And knowing that what feels good to you may not feel good to someone else. And being okay with that too. You know, and just like my example I gave with this guy, I didn't get upset. Things happen. Sometimes people leave stuff in my car. That's why we have a lost item fee. That's why we have a way we can claim it, you know, on the app. That's why we have these wonderful ways to communicate and continue to flow forward. But if I had been resisting that, I would have never seen it. It ties in with this story we heard today on the Abraham Now expansions. Sorry, not Abraham Now expansions. That's another class that we do in Best Life. The Abraham Now Live was that there was a great question, and it was about this mother, and she said, I noticed that my 5-year-old son was so upset that his brother got more Cheerios than he did that he didn't notice this big, beautiful blue jay sitting by our window. Is this what we do most of the time? And the answer is yes. People are so focused on what they don't like and what doesn't feel good that they're missing all the beautiful things that are happening all around them non-stop. You heard that right. Non-stop. Not some of the time. Not most of the time. Non-stop. Well-being is well-being. Inner being is inner being. It's happening. Non-stop. Unendingly. Like I said, there's only flow. And even when we're resisting the flow is still happening. Whoa! Right? Even when we're resisting the flow is still taking place and still happening. And we get to decide whether or not we wonderfully, delightfully join that flow or resist the flow. And we don't need to jump all in. This is not the idea of like, okay, if you're feeling really, really bad, get to feeling really, really great. It doesn't work that way. It happens in a gradient process. It happens very naturally, step by step. And even if you're listening to this maybe and you're feeling really irritated by what I'm saying, that's a good sign. I don't want to say good, because then it points it out like it's a good thing that you're feeling what you don't want to feel. But it is a sign of noticing that if you are feeling sort of irritated or frustrated by the words, and you're going, oh man, I don't like this, you may have very well moved up in scale quite a bit. You may have moved up from a space of despair or numbness or, sheer sadness to a space of anger. Acknowledge that. Okay, And then it's just about really allowing yourself to be okay with what you're feeling. Because once you're okay with what you're feeling, guys, and I have total certainty on this, absolute certainty on this, you flow forward. You don't sort of flow forward, you just flow forward. It's kind of like this. That vibration of whatever you were in is no longer interesting. So you find one that is more interesting. And it's one that's a little bit higher. It just is. It just is. And just by allowing that to flow, then you want to feel more interested in other higher vibrational things, I'm done focusing on this thing with my spouse. They are delightful, Ooh, feels good to take a walk. Yeah, because now you're feeling and flowing with your own inspiration. Whereas before you might have been begrudgingly trying to control the other person. Yeah. Nah, just relax. Just go with the flow. And for those that are going with the flow, enjoy that flow. Enjoy it. Don't try to figure out how to make it more. That'll pinch off the flow too. This is a big place, especially with positive, we'll call it personal training, motivational training, where, they'll say things like, well, now that you're doing really good, you want to know how to do really, really good? Just enjoy really good. Really, really good is coming. And it'll come actually really, really fast if you just relax and allow yourself to do that. And here's what's so funny. Not only will it come really, really fast, but it'll also be really, really sustainable. Oh, yes. Because there is this idea, too, that when you feel and flow with your alignment, that, oh, life is sunshine and lollipops. And for the most part, it is. But we're not here to control the others around us, or the situations, or the things that are external to us. And we can't. So there will still be contrast. I'm going to say that. There will still be contrast. But it's okay, because by recognizing that there will still be contrast, we get to decide in those beautiful moments, am I flowing with that contrast, or am I resisting that contrast? Yeah, we get to decide, and it's so beautiful. Jen's saying a couple other things here. She says, this is an abundant, ever-expanding universe. Go with the flow to more. Yes. So well said, Jen. Yeah. This is an abundant, ever-expanding universe. Go with the flow to more, because there's always more. There's always more. You can always feel a little bit better. You can always have another bit of clarity. You can always have a little bit more that feels more clarifying. There can always be more that feels good to you. There can always be more stability in your ability to feel good, right? Jenny's saying, oh yes, is no longer interested. Is you just, oh, I'm sorry, I read that completely wrong. Oh yes, is no longer interested. You just don't push, but just flow forward. Yeah, exactly, Jenny. There's no need to push. There's no interest to push. It's not entertaining to push. It's like, no, I'm good. I'm just going to flow forward. So, yeah. But I hope you guys can feel that. I hope you guys are experiencing that in your own life. I hope you guys are moving to a space, ideally, of being okay with where you're at, acknowledging what you're feeling, learning to be a little bit nicer to yourself, ideally allowing yourself to be even kinder to yourself, ideally in that kindness to yourself, noticing that more good things are coming in your direction, enjoying that flow, delighting in that flow, as contrast arises, acknowledging it, and continuing ideally to get to a space where not only are you just nice or kind to yourself, but that you love yourself. Source loves you. God loves you. Inner being loves you. I love you. Do you love you? And even if you don't, it's okay. Can you be okay with that? It's okay. We're always doing the best we can with what we got when we got it. And we can only do this right. And you're never going to get it done. To get it done would be that we're no longer part of the physical experience. And we came from non-physical to want to be in the physical. It's the best place to continuously grow and expand and delight in all the beautiful vibrations. And our connection to our inner being is right there with us, experiencing it with you. The only difference is that it's not resisting that flow. It's not resisting that contrast. So, yeah. Yeah, Jenny's saying, oh, always. I love this. First is yourself. Your life is supposed to feel good to you. Yeah, your life is supposed to feel good to you. So um, it feels really good to share this with you guys. Feels really good to me to share this with you guys. I hope it feels good to you. And even if it doesn't, I can feel good with that. It's okay. So I love you guys so, so much. Um, go with the flow. There's only flow. And you're doing great. And even if you have to do something silly, like pat yourself on the back at first, that's okay. It could be a very beautiful bridging forward. And even if you have to be like, I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore, that's a bridging forward too, potentially. So, and trust your feelings. You are doing perfect. Everything has served you if you allow it. So I love you guys so, so much. And that's it. Until we speak again, this is Super Dave with Best Life saying, may you continue to love. Oh, yeah. Love and live your best life with Best Life. I love you guys so, so much. Thanks for all your beautiful expansions. Thanks for just being here with me. I feel you. I love you. Don't have to know you to love you, but I think I know a lot of you. So, you guys are great. Love you lots, and we'll talk again soon.